Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, so I'm going to round the week out here with just a trio, a medley if you like, of Reform UK embarrassments. Although technically one is ex-Reform UK, Rupert Lowe, who called for people raising money for charity to be deported for it. All very embarrassing. But we also have Nigel Farage getting called out for his lies about Kent County Council, and the ever hapless Lee Anderson, who described his own party leadership as putting profit before people. Did he forget which party he's in? But first, for daily news and commentary, please click the subscribe button to stay notified. So let's begin with Rupert Lowe, because this is just bizarre. So this is the story of these four people here, right? They are rowers, which means they occupy for quite a lot of their time a small boat. And such is the fury about small boats amongst a certain section of society that they cannot distinguish between four people rowing the length of Britain for charity to raise money for motor neurone disease and fighting age men coming over here to invade us. Absolutely insane. So what happened here is Rupert Lowe saw these people. I mean, there's four people in a boat, right? For goodness sake. So he saw these people and he alerted the authorities. He said, I've seen illegal immigrants off the starboard bow. Shot them to the authorities and was publicly apparently calling for them to be deported. If they're who I think they are, they should be deported, he was saying. However, it turns out that they were just a group of people rowing from Land's End to John O'Groats to raise money for motor neurone disease. Lowe, of course, suitably embarrassed, has agreed to donate £1,000 to their cause. So that'll help it at least raise a bit more awareness of it. But just, again, can I appeal to people who buy into rhetoric from these sort of folk? They're not people who look into things carefully. They're not people who have anyone's best interests at heart. They are reactionaries. Yvette Cooper earlier this week described these people as just shouting at the sea. This is literally shouting at the sea. This is literally shouting at the sea. He sees a 4-crew boat, rowing boat, off the coast of Great Yarmouth, where he is an MP, and instantly concludes that they're illegal immigrants somehow. Instantly. These are not normal people, and these are not really people we should be listening to. But then, I mean, that's from the ridiculous, right? That's utterly ridiculous. That's Rupert Lowe just being clueless, daffy. Then we have the lies. So Nigel Farage has been claiming yesterday. He said, I'll read it out, exactly what he said. He said, since Reform UK won in May, Kent County Council, which they now control, has reduced its debt by £16 million. This is a saving of £2,000 per day in interest payments alone. However, various people familiar with the matter have said, sorry, Nigel, this isn't quite correct. See, Reform UK haven't reduced the debt of Kent County Council by £16 million. They haven't reduced it by £1 million. They haven't reduced it by a single penny. What they are doing is trying to claim credit for the £72 million worth of savings that the previous Kent County Council had already not only worked out, but essentially, put onto their books. So Nigel Farage has come in here. He's looked at savings, which will already be unpopular anyway, because no one really wants savings of public services. But nonetheless, he's picked up savings from the previous council, and he's claimed a small portion of them as somehow Reform UK's savings, and has been called out for it. And again, this is my second appeal. The first appeal is, can we stop listening to people who just shout at the sea, who don't know anything, who can be so uninterested in details or making sure they're right before they say anything that they will point at a group of 4 white rowers raising money for charity and instantly think that they're illegal immigrants. Now this appeal is to stop believing the liars. Because Nigel Farage, by the way, on this occasion, he hasn't made a mistake like Rupert Lowe did. He hasn't made a mistake. He knows this is a lie. He's conning you. And put it this way, if this person needs to con you about things like this, and by the way, no one would have expected a new council, by the way, to be able to make savings like this so quickly. It's simply not possible. It would take a big review to work out. I mean, no council can really afford to cut much anyway. When they're cutting, they're having to decide where is the least painful place to cut. That takes a big review. You're not going to do it in a few months. But he's not even identified any savings at all done quickly or slowly. He's citing savings that have already been put through the books, already been worked out by the previous administration and claiming them as his own. And that's lying. So supporting Nigel Farage is supporting someone who is just lying to you. And if he'll lie about something like this, he'll lie about what he's going to do in government. And if he finds himself in running the Westminster government, he'll lie to you about what he's doing there, just like Trump is in America. Trump is claiming, for example, the economy is doing great guns. No, it's not. It's absolutely shocking. It's facing recession. It could actually create a financial crash, what Trump's doing in America. But he'll tell you he's doing brilliantly. He'll tell you everything's marvellous and everything's much better now. And Nigel Farage will do the same. He will come in. He will do nothing of value to you. Oh, he will for his billionaire backers, don't you worry about it. I'm coming on to that in a moment. He'll do nothing for you, but he'll tell you that he's made your life loads better. But then we have the third thing, the third type of person we shouldn't be listening to. Third type of person. So we had Lee Anderson. So he was, as he does, this was a few days ago, it was earlier this week, he was promoting something in the Telegraph, you know, and this Telegraph was reading, Reform UK accused solar farm developers of desecrating the British countryside. So we know that Richard Tice, interestingly, has jumped on this anti-net zero bandwagon. And again, why, I've already done a video on this recently, why do Reform UK want to hamper the government's efforts to increase our supply of clean, secure energy? 2 reasons. First of all, they don't want us having clean, secure or cheap energy because then people might vote for Labour at the next election. But secondly, and most importantly, because they get over 90% of their funding from people who are part of the fossil fuel lobby. I've done a video on that quite recently. But Lee Anderson, so he's promoting this article, right, in the Telegraph. And then he says, makes you wonder which MPs have a financial interest in these solar farms putting profit before their own country. Inevitably, absolutely inevitably, you get a load of responses going, Anderson, mate, Richard Tice is really famous for investing in solar panels for his own businesses. And we can point out a couple of things here. First of all, Andrea Jenkins, Reform UK's mayor, has in the past proudly promoted the idea of solar farms. But also Richard Tice's businesses publicly boast of the fact that they are saving, what is it? Hundreds of tons of CO2 with their own use of solar. This is the Deputy Leader of Reform UK. Oh dear, Lee. Oh dear. So calling out his own Deputy Leader here. But it is also worth looking at Lee Anderson's words again. Makes you wonder how many MPs have a financial interest in these solar farms. Makes you think something more widely, Lee. Makes you wonder how many MPs have a financial interest in things that they claim to support which is against the public interest. Reform UK get over 90% of their donations from people who lobby for the fossil fuel industry. And lo and behold, Reform UK, against the science, against the wishes of the majority of the country, against even the majority of their own supporters, attack net zero, something that will allow us to have cheaper, cleaner, more secure energy. Maybe that's the financial link he should be looking at. So we have three types of person that I would argue we should be very careful about blindly supporting. The first type, someone who doesn't bother to find out if what they're saying is correct. They're just reactionary. The second type is someone who we can prove is deliberately lying to people. And the third type is someone who just behaves incredibly tribally, because what Lee Anderson is doing here is he's behaving tribally. He's backing the people paying his party, and he's attacking others for something his own party does as well. He's attacking MPs who promote solar, even though his own deputy leader, in terms of his business activities, promotes solar. Three types of people. Not quite the same party now since Rupert Lowe left it, but he would have said the same thing if he was still a Reform UK member. Three different types of people that we should be very cautious about listening to too carefully. But there we are anyway. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Hope you found the video interesting. Have a great weekend. And until next time, I'll see you later.